Jacob is the standard. It worked so well for me. He was standing on business. Hello besties, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Vanessa and today we're doing a book recommendation video. I haven't done one of those on the channel in so long, and I think it's because I'm not super creative when it comes to coming up with book recommendation ideas. I would just want to recommend all of my 5 stars. That's just what I would want to do, but I know that it's better when you package them based on like a trope or like specific themes and stuff like that, and I'm just not that creative. So if you guys have any book recommendation videos, ideas that you guys want to see from me, let me know in the comments. Subscribe and then I will be sure to make them and just turn them out for you guys. But for now, we're just gonna go with my favorite contemporary romance books. You guys know on this channel that my 2 favorite genres are romance and fantasy, and I read so many romance books, so these are the top. These are the books that I cannot stop thinking about, that those characters live rent-free in my little head right there. So I just want to share them with you guys and have them compiled in one video. And of course, this list will evolve as I read more romance books, but these are the books so far. This one, the first one actually, is one that I'm so surprised by because I gave it 4 stars originally. And I haven't stopped thinking about them. I haven't stopped thinking about Stella, have not stopped thinking about Christian. It's Twisted Lies by Hannah Wang. In this book, we're following our sweet Stella. She is an influencer. She is doing very well. I think she's stuck at like 500,000 followers or something like that. And then she is trying to grow her following so that she can get more luxurious, more important brand deals. But the needle has not been moving no matter how many times she posts and no matter what she does. And she's also noticed that a lot of people grow faster when they are in a relationship. But baby girl is busy. She has like 2 jobs. She does not have time for a relationship. And of course, she's also a little introvert homebody. So she's finding it very hard to find someone. Also, while all of this is going on, a threat from her past reappear. And now she is not only trying to like grow her business, but also she's feeling scared and not safe where she is. Until in comes Mr. Christian Harper, who is actually the owner of the building where she lives at, but he's also this billionaire security mogul, and he's been obsessed with her without her knowing for the longest time. So he decides that he's gonna solve the issue. He's going to protect her from the threat that is in her life, but he's also going to be her fake boyfriend so that she can grow her following. And we already know where this is going to go. The man that is Christian Harper, okay? If you are not ready for dark romance, which I am not most of the time, okay? I think I've only read 1 dark romance. This is the closest to dark romance that you can get and still keep it light because Mr. Christian is dark, but in the best way. I love this book. I loved how obsessed Christian was with her, but it's like I hate everyone else in the world except for you. That's what it was giving, okay? And Stella was so relatable. I loved her as a character. She really was just us, like just another girl who's just trying to like accomplish her dreams and makes her dream come true. And at the end of the book, the groveling just did it for me, okay? Love this book. Give it a 4 star originally. Could not stop thinking about Christian Harper. Turned it into a 5 stars. Okay. Next book, Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan. So in this book, we're following Allie Morris. She is divorced. She is grieving her mother who passed away 2 years ago, and she's supposed to be a professional organizer, but her own life is a whole mess. Her house is a mess. She's barely keeping things in order when it comes to her children. She feels lost. Now, the first day she decides, okay, I need to make a change, and she decides that I'm gonna take off my wedding ring. It's time. We're divorced. I'm also gonna start dressing appropriately, wearing pants that can zip up properly instead of her baggy clothes that she like wears all the time and looks frumpy in all the time. She goes to walk her dog in the park, and her dog pees on this very handsome man who looks a little younger than her, but who's so attractive. He basically claims him. And this is also when the guy actually looks at her like, hey, you are also looking very attractive, lady. And that's a surprise for her because she hasn't felt very attractive in a long time. And then from there, they start a summer romance. But I think the main thing that drew me to this is really the journey that Ali had to go on to find herself again. That summer romance really propelled her to really getting back on track and being more assertive for herself and really demanding what she is owed and really taking her life back on track. Love this. The man that she ends up meeting is so interesting, and he has a little backstory that is really gonna come into play. But he was also the best golden retriever ever. If you guys know me, I love a golden retriever male character, and he really did everything to just make sure that Ali felt confident again. He really boosted her confidence, and he really also accepted her exactly where she was at the moment. So loved him. Pick up Summer Romance. This is my first Annabelle Monaghan book, and I was blown away. So love that one. The next book is Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. In this book, we are following Elsie. She is a theoretical physicist, and she is an adjunct professor at multiple universities around Massachusetts. She is broke because adjunct professors don't get paid well. They don't get insurance. She also has a health condition that requires her to need medicine that is very expensive. So all her money is going to her medication. She is just wearing herself thin, and she now has the opportunity to be hired as a full-on professor at MIT, and she's really gunning for this role. The only problem is all her lies that she's told in the past are gonna come crashing down all at once, because Elsie, to pay the bills, to help make up for the fact that her professor pay is not that good, also moonlight as a fake girlfriend on this app. And one of her favorite clients, which you should not have because they're not allowed to do repeats, but she's done repeats for that guy, has a brother who's hated her forever. And when she's moonlighting as a girlfriend, she lies about her profession. That brother ends up being the head of the MIT department where she's applying for the job. So you can imagine all hell is going to break loose. I love this book. Obviously, you guys knew I had to include an Ali Hazelwood book in this video, but I would recommend all of Ali Hazelwood books, all of them, but the one that really stuck to me and the one that I cannot stop thinking about is this one because of Elsie. Elsie's compulsion to be a people pleaser really resonated with me, and the way Jack just loved her and was like, you do not need to be anyone else but yourself. And he really pushed her to be herself, and she instantly was herself also with him because she did not like him originally, so she did not feel the need to just do things to please him. But because she kept doing that with him and he kept pushing her to do this in other aspects of her life, it really helped her to grow. The way he was down bad for this woman immediately did it for me. I just love the way Ali Hazelwood writes, man. Like, impeccable. No one can do it like her. Love this book. Please pick up this book. Please read this book. I love me some Jack and some Elsie. Anyways. All right. Next book that we have. Oh, I am not ready. Okay. I have 2 Abby Jimenez books on this list. Okay, let's wait on this one. This is after. Okay, so this is part of an interconnected series, okay? You should read Part of Your World. You don't have to. It was fun. It was a good time. You should read it. The book that really sold me on Abby Jimenez, though, is definitely Yours Truly. So in this book, we are following Brianna and Jacob, okay? Brianna is failing at life, according to her, because she is recently divorced, and then she's trying to apply for this position that became available. She's a doctor. She's applying for this job that became available, but in comes Jacob that was recently hired at the hospital, and now she feels like she's not going to get the position because of Jacob, because obviously he's a man, and she feels feels like it is so unfair. So she is very frosty when she first meets Jacob, and he doesn't have the best impression on her also because he has his own things that he's dealing with, such as anxiety. So when he's meeting people for the first time, he's not his best self, to say the least. So when they first meet, they clash, it's very bad, and then he writes her a letter to explain why he is who he is and why he acted the way he acted, and to basically ask for grace because it's going to take him time to be better at human interactions when it comes to a new place. Oh, guys, I'm just saying that, and it's so heartwarming because so many times that happens, right? That we are so stressed and nervous and social anxiety gets the best of us and we're not our best self. We come off as like maybe cold, maybe arrogant, maybe standoffish, but really we were just nervous. And baby Jacob, that's what happened. And after that letter, they keep writing to each other and a friendship comes into play. And then eventually Jacob needs help for a wedding that he's going to attend. He needs a fake girlfriend, so we have some fake dating involved into this, and of course a beautiful romance happened. Jacob is the standard. Okay, that's not true. Justin also is pretty much the standard. Listen, Abby Himides, man, the standard. But Jacob was so sweet. I loved him so much. This story was so well written. I know a lot of people do not like the ending because there is something that happens at the end that a lot of people are like, why did you mess it up? I don't know that that was useful, but I didn't care. This still worked so well for me. I still gave it a happy 5 stars. And you guys can see whenever I think about them, I still swoon. I just have to think about Jacob and I swoon. Love this book. Please pick it up. Now we have Just for the Summer. Listen. Justin is also the bar. That's not my issue. My issue is the content of this book because this book had me crying on the internet. Okay, I said I would never do such a thing, but I was crying. I was literally recording myself reading this book and I was crying. So, in this book, we're following Emma and Justin. Justin posts on Reddit that he is cursed. Every single time he dates someone, that person ends up moving on and finding the love of her life. Emma reads this and she's like, hold up, we might have the same curse because every time I date someone, he moves on and he finds the love of his life. So they're like, well, then we have our solution. We need to date each other, move on, and we will find the love of our lives. We just have to do the same thing. It'll be perfect. They decide to meet up, and guess what? Obviously, we know what's going to happen. This book was so fun, so much fun. It's the perfect book for summer, so we still have time. If you haven't read this book yet, it's still summer. Please pick it up. It really felt so good. Like the vibes were all there, but also this is so emotional because when you find out the relationship that both characters have with their mom, especially Emma, my heart was so broken. I cried so much, boohoo cried, and I could cry now if I think about it too hard. But the romance was so beautiful. Justin was so steadfast and strong, and this is exactly what someone like Emma, based on what she went through, needed. But also what I loved about this book is that this was also a love story when it comes to friendship, because the way her best friend, Emma, can't think of her name right now, but the way her best friend loved her, was there for her, just protected her. Everybody needs a best friend like this. Everybody needs a best friend like this. I adored this story. Listen, pick this up. Okay, now let's do some of the books that I don't currently own copies of. One book that I absolutely want to recommend because I feel like I haven't talked about it on the channel is Get a Life, Chloe Brown. Love this book. This book, just when I first read it, I could not put it down. The humor in this book, Talia Hibbert, perfect humor. Just love people who can make you laugh while discussing very heavy topics or very serious topics. In this book, we're following Chloe and Redford. He is called Red throughout the book, and he does have red hair. Well, he's a ginger. Chloe is chronically ill. She has a chronic illness that really makes her life very difficult. It does help that she is self-employed. She is a web designer, and so she spends all of her day inside of her house really trying her best to take care of herself herself, but something happens and she has a very close encounter with death, and that changes her perspective. She realizes that she's not truly living, she's just basically surviving in this little bubble that she's built for herself to keep herself safe because of her chronic illness. So she makes a list of all the things that she would love to do to basically get out of this situation and start living again despite her illness. And then in comes Red, which her and Red, they've had a very contentious relationship so far. He is the maintenance guy in her building. He lives in the building and he helps out with the tenant, and they haven't had a good relationship, but he somehow becomes involved in helping her get through that list. And part of the list is not to fall in love, but we already know that they are going to fall in love. Again, love this story because of the representation. You definitely get to see what it's like to be living with an invisible illness, because some people have debilitating illnesses that really hinders all of their lives, and people will judge them for it. People will judge them for not having clean houses, for not being able to maintain relationship and call as often, go out and party. But really, on the outside they look fine, but on the inside it's really painful and it's hard, and it's also a mental strain because they know how the world is perceiving them. Love this book. It was addressed so beautifully. Talia Hibbert did a beautiful job, but also the way Red just automatically started learning and understanding Chloe, and he started picking up on things so quickly and like inserted himself in her life in a way like he fits so well to help her out. It was so beautiful. The woman's was delicious, so delicious. Red was like this big teddy bear. I loved him. Please pick up Get Alive, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. Okay, so the next book that I want to talk to you guys about is The Fake Out by Stephanie Harcher. It is part of the Vancouver Storm series. It is the second book, so you do need to read the first book. Well, actually, I'm not gonna lie. You don't, because I haven't read the first book. Okay, I DNF'd the first book and I moved on. But the DNF was kind of strange. It's not because I wasn't enjoying myself. I think I wasn't in the headspace. And for some reason, I picked up The Fake Out and kept reading it. Okay, I will go back to the first one. I will. Anyways, the point is, in this book, we're following Hazel and Rory Miller. Hazel works as one of the athletic trainers for the Vancouver Storm, and she is devastated when she learns that her ex, which was very mean to her, is now going to join the team. So she's gonna have to work with him. Up until this point, Rory Miller, which she hasn't gotten along with because he's been flirting with her overtly, and she's like, I do not date hockey players, especially because of what happened in her past. She is now like scrambling because she doesn't want her ex to feel like he has a chance with her, or she doesn't want her ex to feel like she has not moved on and she doesn't have anything going on in her life. So she decides, I'm going to fake date Rory Miller just so she can make her ex jealous. Okay? And Rory is like, yeah, of course. Yeah, let's fake date so we can make, your ex jealous. Because at the same time, also, Rory has beef with her ex. That's his rival. So he's like, yeah, this works out for both of us. Let's fake date to make him jealous. No, baby boy has other things in his mind. He's like, let's fake date. And I'm planning to keep you, girl. I'm gonna keep you. It was so good. No, seriously, I know, guys, that I keep screaming at all of these books, but it's because these books are the books that did this to me. These are the books that had me kicking my feet and giggling and like losing my complete ish around the house. Love this book. Rory was so good. Like, he reminded me so much of the next book that I'm going to recommend that you guys already know what it is, but they have the same personality. The Golden Retriever, they make you laugh, but at the same time you can tell that they have big hearts, and when they are down bad for a girl, they are down bad and they will do whatever. They are so attentive. They pay attention to every little detail and they learn everything about you so that they can do things to please you. Oh, what I loved, he did this one thing, because when Hazel was trying to like move on, she wanted to get something out of her system, and the way Rory was like, no, I need you to fall for me first, that worked so well for me. Okay, it worked so well for me. Love this book. Guys, if you are into sports romances, specifically hockey romance, this is gold. This is gold. I love this book. Pick it up, okay? Now, because I already kind of like alluded to it, let's talk about Play Along. Because if you love Rory Miller, you will love Isaiah Rhodes. And if you love Isaiah Rhodes, you love Rory Miller, okay? That's basically, they are the same characters, different font, okay? But like, so close. They're all in the same family. They're all sans serif, basically. Just right there, okay? So Isaiah is not a hockey player though. He is a baseball player. So, and Play Along, we're following, like I said, Isaiah and Kennedy. Kennedy is the sports medicine doctor for the team. She's worked for the team for 3 years. Isaiah has fallen in love almost immediately. Okay, the minute he saw her, he was like, that's baby girl. That's the one. That's mine. Okay. The problem is that same day he finds out girl has a very hefty rock on her hand. She's engaged. Okay. So for 3 years, he's pining. He is like flirting with her, but knowing that nothing will happen because obviously she is engaged, until he notices suddenly baby girl is not wearing her ring anymore. She is not wearing her ring. And he's like, I have a chance. And then they end up meeting in Vegas because he's in Vegas with his boys. She's in Vegas for a wedding or a bachelorette party. And then they end up meeting. They decide to hang out for the night. Things get a little crazy. They wake up married. Yup. Marriage of convenience. Marriage of convenience in this one, okay? They wake up married. They cannot get divorced immediately because if they do, Kennedy may lose her job. She may lose this big opportunity that is coming to her. So they decide, let's stay married until that opportunity comes through and is completely settled. And then they can go ahead and get a divorce. And of course, we already know what my boy is going to do. He's like, I got a year. I got a year to make you mine officially. And he does everything, the little details that this man picked up on. And the way also, so Kennedy, you will learn about her character. She comes off very cold, but it's because of her past. And the way Isaiah learned to open her up and basically make her feel that the way she is, that people have said is cold and kind of frigid, it's okay, it's fine. Like, he has no problem with it and he just loves her just the way she is. Amazing. I love this. And also we got to see another side of Isaiah because we always saw him in the previous book as like, again, this very rambunctious golden retriever class clown type of guy, but then we learned that there's so much depth to him. Listen, representation for mental illness we had in this book also. Love that. Listen, this was so good. This is my favorite romance book ever. This is it. This probably should have been at the end of this video, but it was a perfect segue, so I took it. But this is my favorite one. This would be number 1, okay? Play Along by Liz Tomfordy. Speaking of female characters that come off as very cold, let's talk about our baby girl Winter. We are talking about Reckless by Elsie Silver. In this book, we follow Winter and Theo Silva. Winter is Summer in the first book. That's her sister. When we first meet her in the first book, we don't have the best opinion of Winter, okay? Baby girl is not coming off as a girl's girl. We do not like her until we get into this book and we learn more about her background. But because of how she's been treated in the past and because of the things that happened in the past, you learn this in the first book. You understand why she's so closed off and she just wants to have one night of frivolous fun and not think about it again. And comes Theo Silva that she is like, I do not like you. You are obnoxious. You are annoying. I don't like you. But they meet up. Things get a little spicy. They agree to have one night of fun. They do. And consequences happen. Okay, consequences happen. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to say anything else. I probably said too much already, but this was so good, guys. This is my favorite book in the Chestnut Spring series because of those characters, because of how much had to happen. I think like what I loved about this book also is the discussion about Theo's career in this book. It was so different from the discussion about, I believe, I don't even remember his name, but in the first book, Summer and Red, the way Summer and Red handled his career discussion and the way they handled Theo's career discussion in this book was so different, but so perfect for the characters. I love this. This solidified to me that Elsie Silver knows how to write characters because she writes storylines based on those characters. It was so interesting to see how I understood both of the discussions and they were valid for both of those stories, but also the romance. Oh my god, the way Theo from the get-go, because even though Winter is now in their lives, because of what happened in the first book, a lot of people were still being very standoffish to Winter and not really understanding her, and Theo came in immediately and was like, nah, y'all are not treating my girl like this, okay? You do not talk about her like this. You do not treat her like this. Like, he was standing on business. Okay, for baby girl. Love this one. Definitely read it. But I would say read the entire series because this is one of those series where I feel like every book was good. You will not miss anything. Read the entire series. And if you're not going to read the entire series, at least read the first one so that you have context of why everybody behaves the way they do, why Winter is the way she is. That is Reckless by Elsie Silver. Next book, Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Emily Henry is a darling for me. Listen, I love all of her books. Even the last one that you guys have been saying is not good. Loved it, okay? But out of all the books that I've read from her, Book Lovers is the one that did it for me. So in this book, we're following Nora and Charlie. Nora's sister is acting kind of weird. She's acting kind of weird. Nora feels very disconnected from her sister, which is unusual because they've always had each other with their mom, and after their mom passed away, it's been the two of them and they've been connected, joined at the hip, best friend, tell each other everything, okay? But suddenly her sister's acting weird, and then her sister says, let's go on a vacation, let's leave New York, which is very unusual because they love New York. Why would we ever want to leave New York? But then her sister says, let's leave New York, let's take a vacation to one of our favorite books location, and let's just spend the summer there. I'm gonna leave my family. She has 2 kids and a husband, the sister, and she's currently pregnant. She's like, I'm gonna leave my family, spend the summer with you, and then my family will come later. And Nora is reeling. She's like, okay, listen, I guess I'll do it because I want to know what's going on with you, but I'm nervous. Like, is everything okay? Is something going on with your family? Like, what's going on? So they go on the vacation. While they're on vacation, who ends up being there? Her nemesis, Charlie. She is a book editor. No, she is a book agent. And Charlie is a book editor. And one time she submitted one of her best authors to Charlie, and Charlie rejected the book. So since then, they've been nemesis. And her book nemesis is there, and she's like, no. But as they keep meeting and seeing each other and having conversation, a romance blossomed from there, and it is the best kind of romance. Because also in this book, I feel like you guys will see a theme. I basically like the same stories over and over. In this book, Nora is being perceived as a very cold person. Nora, Kennedy, Winter. She's perceived as a very cold person, and Charlie is like, she's perceived as a very cold person because she's all about her career. She's very driven, very ambitious, and people in the past have made her feel bad for having those traits. But Charlie comes in and he's like, what is wrong with being who you are? What is wrong with you not wanting kids of your own, or just being driven, loving New York, being ambitious? What's so wrong with that? Like, you know? And that is such a refreshing take for Nora, which opens her up to like getting to know him better, and she learns more about him, more about why he comes off the way he does, and they realize that they are the perfect fit. And it was so beautiful. And also learning about what was going on with the sister. Could have never seen that one coming. Could have never seen that one coming. So that was another layer of like a little bit of a mystery that was in the background that kept the story very entertaining. Love, love, love this romance. It's so cute. Charlie Lestra. Love you. Next book. You guys have heard me talk about this. 7-Year Slip. Okay. The 7-Year Slip is such a beautiful, such a whimsical romance because it has elements of magic in there. What is this one called again? It is, what is that considered? Magical realism. That's what this is called. Okay, so in this book, we're following Clementine West. She lives in New York. Her favorite aunt, the one that she's the closest with, recently passed away and left her this apartment. The aunt always told her that the apartment is magical because it can bring you 7 years in the past or 7 years in the future. One day she's at the apartment brings her 7 years in the past, and she meets this gentleman who tells her that he is subletting the apartment for the summer from the aunt. Okay, and from there a romance will blossom, but it's very complicated because he's 7 years in the past. It's so beautiful. It is such a beautiful story. I cannot hear the word lemon and not smile because of this book. When I hear lemon, I blush because I know what it means. Iwan is a chef, or he's an aspiring chef, 7 years, but we don't know where what happens to him. But the discussions with food and how like they fell in love around food, the theme discussed in this book about finding yourself after you're grieving someone. Is it okay to always pursue the same thing? Like if you had a dream, must your dream remain the same, or can you evolve and can you change? All those discussions were so good in this book. I loved it. This is again such a heartwarming book, and I think also it's perfect for summer. So if you guys haven't picked up this book yet, I would highly recommend picking it up for summer because it definitely gave me summer vibes with all the mention with food, and also New York is very involved in there. I just love this. Please pick it up. The final book we are discussing is my new god tier romance is 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. In this book, we're following Eva and Shane. Eva and Shane met 15 years ago while they were in high school and spent 7 days in June together, as the book would suggest. And it was a very tumultuous 7 days, to say the least. When I first heard the title of this book, I thought it was gonna be like 7 days in the summer, having fun, frolicking, and no. That wasn't what this was about at all. Okay, like they spent 7 days together and they fell in love during those 7 days, but it was traumatic a little bit. Okay, it was very intense. Check your trigger warning. Check your trigger warning for the entire book. Okay, and then 15 years later, they are in very different spaces. They are both writers now, and they've been writing about each other for 15 years, and they end up meeting again by coincidence at a conference for authors, and they decide, listen, we need to discuss what happened 15 years ago, and we need to basically get closure, because at this point Eva has married, been divorced, she has a girl, love our girl Audrey, which is the perfect and the smartest teenager ever. This book was so fun. It blended humor and romance so well. It blended humor and discussions of heavy topics so well. I adored this book. Tia Williams, this is masterful. This is a masterpiece to me. I love this book so much. I can't wait to reread it. And it was so sexy and it was so smart. Shane was there is one scene that I did not expect, I did not see coming, but oh, it was so good. It was so good when they meet and they decide to go. I will not say anything less because I want you guys to be tempted to go pick up this book immediately. Okay, again, it's not June anymore, but it is still summer, it is still New York. Please pick it up because you will not be disappointed. You will be emotional one moment, laughing the next, swooning the next. It's gonna be a whirlwind of emotions, and it's gonna be in the best kind of way. So, 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. All right, guys. So these are my favorite romance books that I highly recommend as part of this channel. This is required reading, okay? This is required reading for being part of this little community that we have. And I hope you guys enjoy all of these books. Let me know which one you guys have already read, which one you guys already enjoy. What other book recommendations that you guys want to see from me? I will see you guys on the next one. You guys already know what to do. Like, subscribe, and share. And